Welcome viewers once again. This is the Cardinal Talk Show that comes to you on LTN every single Sunday, that we want to always talk about things that affect this country politically. Today, we want to discuss what is supposed to be a very worrying trend of things that we've just witnessed just this week, the return of police brutality and human rights violation. As a country, these are things that up to now we are sure we should have left behind us and progress forward. However, because of one reason or the other, things seem to be coming back. With me to discuss all this is this wonderful panel here of guys that I'll introduce one by one. I've got to my very, very right here, Mr. Gitonga Wadhanga, called Starehe One.
Yes. And ODM Life member.
And ODM Life member. Thank you very much. I've got Mr. Anthony Jaragenya. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yeah, you say you are a seriously patriotic Kenyan.
Yes, and a taxpayer.
And a taxpayer. That's good. I've got with me here Joseph Nganga, the deputy chairman Jubilee Nairobi.
Nairobi County, yes.
What a panel this
and
is.
Chairman
Chairman of Starehe constituency.
And chairman Starehe constituency, TNA.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be great, I tell you. It's going to be great. Anyway, guys, let's hit this thing running. It's now almost 20 years, over 20 years, ever since this kind of scenarios were witnessed in Kenya. During the second liberation, during the constitutional clamor, all these things have now actually gone with time. But for one reason or the other, this week, it was so much evident that police are back again to use excessive force to actually do something that, to me, if I look at it, it's not well intended to very harmless citizens. I want to begin this. Should I say Canadian, because you're the guys who are thoroughly beaten? Can we have you now give account of this? What can you talk about? What can you say about this?
Thank you, Nick. For starters, I wouldn't say it's a return of impunity on the part of police or violation of human rights. It's only now that it's come out in the limelight. The police were caught doing what they have always been doing. It's only that they do it in the back streets, in our estates, in our slums, in our villages. And that's the reason why we are also seeking the reforms. We are seeking of IEBC, and because our institutions, most of them are run with impunity. The police, in the new constitution, we established this commission of independent police oversight
authority.
And since they came into being, we have not seen any difference. We have not seen actually, nobody really in Kenya knows what they have been up to. Because there have not been any difference in the police operations in this
They haven't been felt anyway.
There has been none. And for the citizens, of course, who are in contact with the police, they know that there has not been any change in the way they carry out their operations. They continually, on a daily basis, violate the human rights of the citizenry. And this what they did recently on Monday, and even on the other Monday, it's just them being them.
So to you, it's a continuity of sorts. Things have just been happening, but to a very lower scale. But now it came to the fore.
Yeah, precisely.
Anthony, that one is so hard to take. Are we witnessing the return of police brutality? And again, at this moment in time, is it really necessary? What can we do about our police service?
I think one thing that has to be clear and to the fellow citizen is that we pay the police to protect us. And that is the job. And the police do not act as a militia. It should act as an institution that have rules and regulations. It is very unfortunate when the police start acting like militia, when they start getting instruction from politicians. I am not surprised. I wasn't surprised with what I saw, because 3 or 4 days before, you saw the Minister for Internal Affairs, that is Nkaiseri, actually bragging how prepared they are, how they are waiting the COD guys with the tear gas. And it was like a bravado, like what you call calling the police to war, something like that. when he is a minister who should have insisted that let us follow the law and probably giving guidance on what should happen. But when you heard him speak, he was speaking like somebody who is beating the war drums. And he is a minister. And I was disappointed. But as I've said, the police should realize that Kenyans are the taxpayers and they are employees of Kenyan citizens.
So
who acts according to the constitution, who acts according to the regulations which are laid down. And I want to warn the police officers that if you continue to take instruction from politicians, when things get thick, they will dump you and they will say they did not give you any instruction. And I can tell you, the police officer that was seen on the camera beating a citizen who was down and kicking him, I know he's going to lose his job, and no politician will go to his aid. Yes.
Wow. So Nkaisari actually prepared the stage for the chaotic scenes we watched that last time. Mr. Joseph Nganga, what happened to the much-touted police reforms that people as a country just began with so much gusto, so much will, that this has just returned again? What happened to the reforms in the police service?
First of all, I would say this, that the citizens themselves, they should know that when they are going for demonstration or when they are going for such picketing, you know, it's always, and it has always been there, that any person going for demonstrations, they go armed. They go while carrying some weapons with them. So, whenever a policeman is there, like in that scenario on Monday, it's not only a citizen who was bungled by the police. Also, a policeman. They were hit by stones and all those crude weapons.
There are such reports.
And who is talking about them?
You mean there are such reports? Nganga, there are such reports. There are police officers who are also injured. They were injured also
by the same goons and hooligans. So policemen are not bishops or pastors to come and preach in the streets.
So they must deal with the guy's family.
They must deal with them family, because even the guys who are coming to the
what do you mean family? What is family in this context?
In the context of, if you are a criminal, let them be dealt with as a criminal. Because,
oh my God!
Because some demonstrators, they come being criminals, not coming to demonstrate on the cause they are supposed to demonstrate.
That is very
you see
true. Some demonstrators.
But you see, as a policeman, you cannot separate who is a good demonstrator and who is a hooligan. You know, all of them, they come there. They come as the demonstrators, and you know. So in the case of these, the code fraternity should select good demonstrators to come on the street. Yeah, they should.
So they should have some moment to actually go and do something we call elimination.
Elimination method, so that they can bring good demonstrators in the street, so that the police brutality should not be exercised. Because if a policeman will not be, if you don't throw a stone to a policeman has no right to hit you back.
Actually.
Yeah, like the guy is called who? He had a stone in his pocket, isn't it? What was the stone for? Was it for? Was it a mobile phone, or what was it? Was it a bread or something? You know,
hard questions
we have to ask ourselves these questions.
Mr. Gitonga, you are in this. Mr. Gitonga was right inside the fracas. You guys carry with you a bunch of goons who go and spoil the whole party for you, according to Mr. Nganga.
I think our friend here, Mr. Nganga, is just being comical. The thing is, when it comes to a demonstration like that, it's not like people are interviewed that who are going to participate. People we invite, people who want to go and demonstrate, you know, at the picket and start with the reforms. We don't have a choice who's going to join us. And actually, it is
should take responsibility.
Actually, it is even said that
it
is even said that most of those goons actually were brought in by the Jubilee sympathizers. Yes, they were goons. But
what do you mean? You mean the goons who actually were there were brought in by the Jubilee?
How the Jubilee was not? The Jubilee did not call for demos. Actually.
Yeah, we know. They didn't call demos. Yes, court called for demos, but the Jubilee side infiltrated and probably
How can you tell it was Jubilee? How do you tell it was
brought
Jubilee?
in the goods? Okay, but having said that, the person who has got the responsibility
Is Raila Amolo Odinga.
of controlling crowds, of
Raila
getting
Amolo Odinga.
goods,
Yes.
is the police. Is a security. Is a security personnel.
How can a police
They are the ones who are supposed to choose amongst who are the rioters, who are the goons, but you cannot condemn everybody that are in the name because of their goods. For instance, take for instance football. We know, like in football, there is always hooliganism in football.
But you see here we are not playing football.
But
you see
all
the time you got people, you always play politics.
Does that stop?
Hold on, Mr.
Okay, does that stop us? Does that stop us from going to football matches, from games being played?
Yeah.
No. But the person who has got the responsibility in the event there are demos, the person who has got the responsibility of controlling and making sure that there are no goons, and if they are there, that they are apprehended and brought before.
I want to say this. I want to say
guys, I know it's going to be hot because Jubilee and CORD are here. But one thing that we must get out of this is that whatever happened, whether they were goons or not, did you actually see a better mechanism put in place to deal with these situations? That is what we are looking at.
Let me put things.
Yes, Anthony. At least you're a patriotic Kenyan. These guys are so politically polarized that they can't give you time. I give you this moment.
One thing we have to understand that when CORD called for the demonstration, the CORD supporters did come. But if you look at the clips, actually KTN reported it very well. Immediately after the CORD had been dispersed, the Jubilee supporters were actually seen, actually also demonstrating, and they were also dispersed. If you look at the clips of KTN, that is a fact we can't run away from.
So there were two demos. There were two demos
yes,
on Monday.
Yes, there were two demos. The question we must ask ourselves, did Jubilee inform the police that they were going to have demonstration? If they didn't, then those guys who called for those demonstrations are actually acting away from the law.
No,
now,
let me correct that. Let me correct you. Let me correct you.
You'll do that when I'm done. Once I'm done.
Okay,
you know what?
Just what do you have to say?
He's purporting to say that Jubilee came in the same demos.
Yeah.
There were no Jubilees who came to the demos. The people who came to those demos were those who were agitated, who were aggrieved that their business have been vandalized. They have stolen everything. They have made their life difficult. That they were coming to tell the police, please tell these people to go home because we want to open our business. They have looted our businesses. They have in town. So those are not Jubilees. They were agitated Kenyans.
Yes, as you finish up.
After having said that, one thing has to be clear, that the gentleman, even if he had a stone in his pocket, and it is true, I could see in the camera there was a stone in the pocket, but the fact that he was down, the police is actually to arrest and take to court, not to dispense any form of violence towards him. That is not the work of the police. We have to put it very clearly.
So the role of the police at that moment is to arrest
and take to court. Was the guy arrested? No, he wasn't arrested. Why wasn't he arrested?
The guy actually appeared the following day, looking so fresh.
And as we're speaking now, the police has not gone to court and say we are bringing charges against this person because he had a stone and was planning to create some violence. But then another thing we have to say, when CORD organizes for demonstration, they must tell their supporters that we are going to have a peaceful demonstration. You cannot have a peaceful demonstration if you go with stones and sticks. That is not peaceful. In other words, you are basically going to war, to the point that if you had a chance to carry a gun, you would have directed that kind of violence toward the police. But the police also must be able to use commensurate force, not overusing the force that they could use. But what happened? It is so bad. It is so shameful that we were able to see what we saw in the street. It is so shameful. In fact, let me tell you something. The demonstrators ran into a building to hide from the police. They were actually running away. The police went inside the building, threw tear gas into the building, removed them, not to arrest them, but beat them up.
That is now.
Nganga, honestly speaking, I think our police they must know where the limits are, because you can't go to citizens who've run into hiding to try and prevent themselves from being harmed by this riot, and then again you go tear gas them and then clobber them. I mean, that wasn't the right thing for a police person to do. Or what do you think?
The policemen had the right to protect themselves also,
Yes.
because those demonstrators who are there since morning until 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when the scene turned ugly. You want to tell us there's the police who started the scene?
Yes.
It
yes.
was the demonstrators who provoked the police.
Okay.
And if the police were provoked,
No,
if you throw a stone to a policeman, I'm carrying
there.
a gun and you are carrying a stone, and here I'm supposed to protect you, and you're here you want to hit me with a stone, or you want to cut me with a panga, or you want to hit me with any object or whatever. Me as a policeman, do you think I'm so? What do you think? How can I protect myself?
You're gonna defend yourself. Definitely.
How can I defend myself?
Okay, and as you talk about that, Mr. Gitonga, you were there. You are an eyewitness of what actually happened there. Give us the eyewitness account. Who actually provoked the police? Is it the police who provoked the demonstrators, or is the vice versa?
I was not just a witness, I was a participant.
But even you saw in the clip.
I was a participant.
You saw even in the clip. You saw even in the
Mr. Nganga, just hold on.
You saw even in the clip. The demonstrators were coming to provoke the policemen.
Hold on, Mr. Nganga.
For him, he will tear the position of God.
Okay, please tear the position of God if that is supposed to be the case.
Because
we want to know what actually happened.
From the position where we were at IEBC, I don't know I don't know which area he's talking about, but at the position where we are at the IEBC, together with the Right Honorable PM Kalonzo Musyoka, and the place was completely peaceful, and we were just going about our business. People were sitting down. When Nani stood to introduce Nick Sarat of Kano, before Nick Sarat finished waving to the crowd, then tear gas came from all sides. It came from the left, from the right, from the east, from the west. And then you are left wondering, what is the intention of the police? They come and block all exit routes. Okay? They come with tankers. They come with tear gas.
Yeah, because
and there is no way to. You are wondering what is their interest. There is no escape.
When all of you
there
are
is
there,
no even escape.
Besides you guys, behind you guys, those guys who are looting, they were stealing from passengers. I mean, from the passers-by, they were looting. They were doing all sorts of evils.
Okay, as we prepare to go for the break, guys, I'll cut you short maybe because of time. But as we go for break, it's important that we get to understand actually what are the real matters here. If there were people who are looting here, the police still must protect the businesses. At the same time, the police also must provide the demonstrators with enough security so that they picket peacefully and go back home. I think these are core responsibility of the police service. However, let's put things the way they are. When we come back, it's going to be even hotter because we want to know what must then be done. Away from politics, away from everything, what must be done so that we have a civilized police service. Welcome back, viewers. If you are joining us right now, this is the Cardinal Talk Show. I tell you today, we are finding it very hot in this very place because these guys seem to be differing and conquering almost at different times, and it's becoming very hot. Sometimes I'm tempted to just run away, but I can't run away because we must give information here. What are we going to do as a country to ensure we've got a civilized, responsive, and an intelligent police force that can help us actually quell riots, bring peace and order, bring tranquility, make this country be celebrated with neighbors and every other person else? Because I think the face of police and their actions sometimes tell what a people are.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, Mr.
For me, I'll say this. For us to have a civilized police service, when it comes to demonstration, I think we need to tell our demonstrators or the people who are coming to picket that they should also be civilized. They should not harass anybody. They should not steal from anyone. They should not loot anything, or they should not harass anyone. They should let people have their rights as they have their rights, isn't it? Because there's no... When the demonstrators come and sit on the roads, they sleep on the road. Are they not violating the rights of other Kenyans? They are also violating the rights of other Kenyans. Why do you want to say, me as a demonstrator, my right has been violated, and while you're not seeing that you have violated somebody else's right? The same Kenyan with the same constitution. And what I would like to tell our leadership, and especially I would tell the leadership of God, that they should know that the constitution is there, and it is there it is there live, and it's not going to change because they are demonstrating on the street.
It's not going to change because they're demonstrating.
They are not going. There is a mechanism of changing the constitution.
Yeah.
And again, the same court leaders, they should know that this country, it's not only that cannot be, when somebody else is a president, that is not that the country cannot run well because they are not in that leadership. They should emulate, or they should at least work together with the leadership that is there, so that the country can move on. Because the court leadership is there, that if anything that is done in this country, if they are not there, it is not good. If the roads are being done and they are not there, it is not good. If, like now, the policemen, the police service, the way they battered those people, they are saying the policemen, they are very bad. And for the same case, they have the security. They have the same policemen. If they know the policemen are not good, they should withdraw them and walk around without
Mr. Gitonga, you've been inducted here. Now, the Jubilee side says so well here that the court leadership, where you belong, where you are a leader, must now style up and get to tell their people how to demonstrate. And if possible, they should also take responsibility where there are loots, where there are loss of lives, and where there is, loss of property.
One thing is, even in church, people are told not to sin by their pastors and fathers, but they still sin, right? But the punishment thereafter, it's only God knows how He's going to mete it out. Where we live here on earth and in governance, when you appeal to citizens not to do wrong, not to break the law, you can't expect them necessarily to hear you are not breaking the law. They occasionally break the law. And when they break the law, the person who is supposed to bring them into account is the government, is the security agencies. So even as much as we tell our supporters, right, that we are doing a peaceful demonstrations, there are those who might not really listen to us. There are those as well who might want to come and damage. Okay, they might infiltrate, right, so that they give us a bad name, like Jubilee. The person who is supposed to deal with such is the police. They are the ones now who should have been telling us we arrested so many people who are looting shops, who are destroying property. But did they do that? No. What do? They go and target, Agwambo with the tear gas. Agwambo was just sitting down. He was not harming anybody, and he was harmless. We were just having a peaceful demonstration. When it comes to people being inconvenienced, this is not the beginning of people picketing or demonstrating. Demonstrations cannot be done in the air. They are done on the roads and all over the world. This is not the first time that people are demonstrating here. Even if in other countries people are demonstrating, you go to Europe, they demonstrate on the roads and on public roads. They don't demonstrate in their homes because this is an issue of.
They always have manners.
This is an issue of public good.
No, in Europe they have manners. Demonstrators.
As far as constitutionality is concerned, Article 37 of the Constitution provides for picketing. We can approach. Citizens can approach any government authority by picketing or whichever form they use, or they can say that they can use their
always reading the constitution while they know
the politicians
they are raping the constitution.
The politicians in this, please. Now take a break. We want to hear the voice of our patriots. How do you view this thing now?
One thing that has to be clear in regards to the demonstration that took place on Monday.
Yeah.
The IPOA, that is Independent Policing Oversight Authority Act. That body said that the police went overboard.
IPOA.
Yes, IPOA. the police
They have a
went
measure
overboard.
of how
In
the
fact,
police should do.
In fact, you don't work there, so but then the chairman said that. So if they said that, the Human Rights Commission, the chairman, said the police went overboard. The church leaders said the police went overboard. The only institution, in fact, let me tell you, yesterday, actually, on Thursday, on Wednesday, the official police spokesperson, Charles Owino, when he was being interviewed, he said he thinks they've looked at it, they're doing investigation, but from what he sees, that the police, that particular police officer, he don't talk about the police as an institution. That particular police officer, he went overboard. And they're saying they have internal mechanism to weed such kind of police officer who went overboard. You get? That is the position. And we cannot run away as a country and say the police are just doing their job. That is not how they're supposed to do their job. That is a fact that we cannot run away as Kenyans. Because this police officer, we pay them with our taxes. They act with the regulation and rules. They are not in the jungle. They are not just somebody's institution that do as that person wants them to act. No, there are particular rules and regulations they have to follow. And this is something that we have to do. Yes.
No, okay, now, going forward, Mr. Nganga, just hold on now. Going forward, we must, as a people, therefore, find a way out. Because in every problem, there must be a way out as a people. Now, before you get the way out, how do you determine excessive force and reasonable force as provided for in the Police Act? Because Police Act 2011 says police should use reasonable force.
Now, reasonable force.
Now,
Nick, let me just say.
How do you measure reasonable force?
Reasonable force. Yeah. When a citizen is running away from the police, then the police follows the person, not trying to arrest him, and hits the head. And to the point, if you watch the clip, there are certain police officers was telling their colleagues that please don't hit him, don't hit him. That's enough. You see, and when somebody is running away, did you know that if somebody is shot from behind, and the person was running away and you shoot him from behind, that police officer is found culpable because that person was not a risk to the police officer, and most so demonstrators. He did not steal anything, so why would you hit him from behind?
You know, in this scenario,
let's look at it very soberly, guys. What is excessive and reasonable force? Because again, if we get the lines properly, then we should know how our police should behave, and we also, as citizens, we must know when we are not supposed to do this and when we are supposed to do that. Because it takes two to tango. Yes. The people and the police, there must be a convergence zone where people can get to one understanding.
What I would say is this: when demonstrators are coming, or when they are doing the demonstration, let them do peaceful demonstration. Let them not point to the policemen. Let them not harass the policemen, because the police is there to maintain law and order. And if I'm a policeman, how do you tell me not to hit this demonstrator who is looking at me here with a stone? What force could I? What kind of force would you measure that I should preach to this guy to tell him, please? Throw the stone or drop the stone.
You insist on stones so much. You must have known
because the demonstrators are coming with stones and throwing stones to the policemen. You see,
okay.
And in all this scenario of court and policemen, it is because the court want to discredit the policemen. Discredit the policemen. You know. Yeah. Because the policemen because the court is saying as if it is the opposition, and the policemen are in government, you know, that is their perception. And for real, the court family is not telling Kenyans the truth, because Raila Amolo Odinga should tell Kenyans the truth that removing IBC in office, it doesn't go to street. There is a mechanism to follow. Let him not lie to the people. And for how long for us shall we be lied to by our politician? How many? I'm always saying this. If Raila Amolo Odinga is going again on the street on Monday, kindly let him bring his family on the forefront. The same as Orengo and Akina Johnson Mudhama and the rest of the confraternity, including my brother here.
Including Mr. Gitonga Wadanga.
Mr. Gitonga.
Would you bring your family
Bring
along
your-
with you
bring
this
your
Monday?
family
Because
there.
certainly
Let
I
them
know you
come
people
there.
are going to be there on Monday.
Yeah,
Now
because
you're
you're
bringing your
bringing,
people.
you're
No.
just bringing, you're just bringing.
Hold on now. Let
No,
let-
of course,
let-
you're
let-
just
let-
bringing.
Mr.
You're
Nganga,
just bringing other people.
Mr. Nganga, hold on. It's hot.
No.
Just hold on.
No,
I want to bring your family along.
No. Mr. Gang, I know you are a dad. You have a dad.
Yeah.
Do you go? Does your dad take you to work? You go to work with your dad?
But he can tell me to go to work. I
No.
even want to go to other. He
Raila
tells me to go and work. And I don't want.
Okay.
I'll say I don't want to go back.
Raila Odinga's kids are mature. They are of age.
Let them come.
They make independent decisions. And it's up to them. If they want to come, they want to come. If you take your father to work, well and good. Raila is doing his work.
But why do
Alright?
you go mobilize other people's
But
children
Raila is
and bring
he's
them
not
there?
mobilizing.
You start with your
We go there.
because leadership
We
starts
go-
at home.
We go there.
Leadership
Get out.
starts
We
at
go.
home.
Yes, we
It
go there.
begins in your house.
We go there on
Bring
our
your
own.
kid first.
We go there on our own.
Don't bring other vulnerable
go
kids
there
there.
on our own.
And
Okay.
when they are cornered by the
I
police,
think-
we
I
go
think-
there.
hold on,
Why
guys,
stop
hold on,
complaining?
guys,
You
hold on,
run
guys.
away. You
Why
run
Mr.
away
Nganga,
from
Mr. Nganga, hold on
You run
now.
away with your four-wheel drive,
No,
and
no,
you
no,
leave
no,
other
no,
people crop
Why
on
are you
the street.
complaining? Who is going there? We are going there. We are not complaining.
And I'm talking to the youth of
Guys,
Kenya. I'm talking to the youth
We
of
are the ones who go there. You
Please
don't go
restrain
there.
from going to the demonstration.
Mr. Nganga,
Because you're
hold
going to
on.
be injured there, nobody will take care of you. Nobody will going to take care of your family. No one will take care of you whenever you are injured in those demos.
Oh, it's aggressive.
but say this.
No.
It's enough.
Everybody
No,
who
Mr.
go there
Gitonga,
goes on his own volition.
give
They are not
him time, please.
complaining.
Give him time to say. to
They are,
take what
they are
is
not complaining that Raira's children are there. And if they want to be there, they will come there.
Yeah.
But they are of age. They are of age.
Let them come, and then when they come, let them not.
I'll now give you time to talk.
About the extent of brutality, there was a limit.
Yeah.
It's common sense. Even when boys are fighting out back in the village, and even during our time, when one is down, you don't continue kicking to fight. You wait for your opponent to rise, and then you continue with the fight. But you wonder what sense a policeman is using. Somebody is already down, is unarmed, and then they continue harming him with a rungu all over the place. The head, they don't even choose where they are hitting. It appears these are people who don't have any training or they have something, or their mind doesn't really function like that of a human being.
No, you want
Yes,
to tell
Anthony.
me.
It is unfortunate.
You want to tell me.
It is unfortunate.
Hold on, Mr.
It is unfortunate.
I'll now give them. I'll
No.
get time now
Yes, it's
because
unfortunate.
it's becoming so hard now.
No,
that-
it's unfortunate when we support such wrong police officers.
Yeah.
They are the same ones.
Give them
They are the
a
same
formula to
ones
deal with them.
who are going to come to our houses in the search of refugees, and they will come and rape your children. All right?
Oh,
They are the same ones that are going to kill our hawkers. They are the same ones that are going to harass you on the road.
One thing has to be
Anthony,
clear.
please.
We
Now,
have
what is excessive and reasonable force? Because these politicians are actually drawing us off this speed. What
Okay.
to the
Before,
extent we say it's
before I answer you, Nick, we have a precedent. There is a police officer in Madari during 2007 when it was clear every side, the ODM side and the PNU side, both sides were carrying pangas, rungus, stones, and they wanted to fight. And this particular police officer had a gun.
It's called Kitili or something.
And he was armed to teeth, and he could kill many of them. But he decided, no, by using violence, I'm not going to sort out this problem. He decided, let me appeal to their better half. Let me talk to them. And he talked to them, and he told them, look guys, let's not burn this country. This country belongs to all of us. We don't need to do this. And I think it was captured. It was called Joseph and Kenyan. And it was aired. And that policeman became a hero instantly. He was not talking. He was not thinking about hatred. He was preaching peace. Police can use all that.
So
But then
your point
about,
is,
you've asked me about what is reasonable force.
Yeah.
Reasonable force, it depends how you approach a police officer. There are moments when the police can actually kill a citizen, but it is considered reasonable force. For example, when thugs go to steal someone and they are armed, and they've been given a warning by the police, Please stop, accept to be arrested, or else we are going to use arms. Because the police are actually trained to use those words. When you refuse to do that, then the police will shoot you. Because one, if they don't shoot you, will kill them. When a person is running away from the police officer, and the police want to arrest them, they've committed a crime. There are certain times when the police can shoot your leg so that they can arrest you and take you to court. Because they are trained to do that. When the police have arrested you, there's no police officer that has power to beat you on the spot, because that is not their work. Once they've arrested you, you're down, they've arrested you, they should take you to court, because that is what they're supposed to do. When they use force, even after they've arrested you, they're actually infringing on that citizen's right.
Okay, I think in the interest of time, really, we've got to actually bring the curtains down. However, before that one happens, just in less than a minute, Mr. Nganga, we are told in June next month you will be launching your Jubilee Party. Congratulations for that so much. But what actually do you think made news for you this week?
They've been launching it forever.
This week. Well, it has been just that boy the same boy who we are talking about here.
Who was clobbered? This
all together said and done. Mm-hmm. What my brother says here is saying that the citizens, they need civic education for them to understand on how to deal with the policemen, because the policemen are given training. They are trained wherever they are. But on the citizen side of it, the IPOA and the rest and the Human Rights Commission should come out and tell citizens this is the way to deal with the policemen, and not to come and bombard the police because the act has just happened. Okay. Because the IPOA and the Kenya Human Rights and even the churches, on Sundays they should tell on Sundays the church should tell the people, whenever you're going to do the policeman, be humble.
Okay.
You know, the rest of the institutions should follow the.
Okay, Anthony. Actually, what do you think made good headlines or bad for you? Actually, what captured your imagination this way?
For me, it reminded me what happened. I think it's very painful for me. The police brutality. It reminded me those old dark days when the police were brutal and the Kanu youth wingers were more brutal than the police, and it was a very sad thing. We need to weed those particular police officers, because not the whole institution. I don't think the whole institution is rotten. They are very good police, and some of them are our friends, and some of them are our brothers and sisters. And I think there's a few, just like in any other society, there are few who are overzealous and who are just bad, and I think those should be weeded out. And particularly those who are so brutal to their own brothers, I think those should be weeded out for the police. For me, that was a very painful experience, and what we saw should never happen in our society again.
Should never happen again, even if Gitonga and COD will be heading again to the streets on Monday. What made you a week this week? What captured your imagination? I know you want to go back to the streets tomorrow on Monday, and you guys, I don't know, I can't say much. What made your week?
Of course, the brutality on Monday, and the reason why it is also raising a lot of hue is because of that one guy who was captured on camera. Believe you me, there were so many others who were badly injured,
including women.
Yes, they were badly injured, but they were not captured on camera. Okay. Our friend Morocco is now recovering. Actually, from here, I'm passing by the hospital because he's still hospitalized at Nairobi Hospital. He was badly injured on the head and all over. He was beaten very seriously, and. So it was actually very, 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 very bad, and of course we never really expected that one to happen again, especially when we do have this IPOA, and IPOA came out to be amongst, now it was exposed that it is amongst the one of the most useless conventional institutions we have, because it has not been offering us anything. They are only using our taxpayers' money for nothing.
Thank you very much. It's been the Cardinal Talk. I've been having with me here Mr. Nganga, Mr. Anthony Jaragenya, and Mr. Gitonga Wadhanga, very wonderful guys here who actually made this place nearly inhabitable because of the very hot debate that went on here. However, with all this happening on LTN, please don't keep away. This is the Cardinal Talk every Sunday. This particular time, don't fail to join us next week because we're gonna be right here.